Coming at you full-fledged. It's your boy, Rage Man Rich, with another video for y'all, man. Welcome, YouTube. This is a bit of a different video today, as we have a collab and gameplay video. Who am I collabing with, you ask? A man who I've had the pleasure of adding my perspective to his channel for a while now, and I have the honor of having him on my channel now. Black Couch Booking. Black Couch Kai, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. YouTube, what's going on? Hope everybody enjoying themselves. Y'all gonna have y'all a great video topic today. Glad to be on Rage Man Red's channel finally. So we about to get started. We about to get it cracking, man. I'm ready to go.
Yes. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, I want to share that Black Couch knows a lot about fantasy booking and just really added his perspective to the world of wrestling. And I'm going to drop the link to his channel in the description below, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video, more specifically relating to WWE 2K25 MyRise. So we're gonna run the Royal Rumble right now. You know, I got Drew McIntyre. We're gonna run him random. I got him winning, so we're just gonna let the Royal Rumble run in the background. So 2K25 MyRise specifically, I know a lot of people play My Faction now or Universe, but I was going to say, MyRise has been one of my more favorite modes. I've been playing it, as y'all see on my channel. But I've been doing my market research on MyRise. I've been looking up research and seeing what people have been talking about the mode, and others have complained about the past. You know, the past SmackDown vs. Raw games, we've had custom stories, like completely custom stories, but MyRise rather prefers alternate timelines for real world events, and I have no issue with that at all. I know a lot of people disagree, but the choice, again, I have no issue with. Black Couch, when it comes to alternate timelines for real world events in wrestling games, in MyRise specifically, the mode, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it. I know a thing that they really used to do back with the old games that I don't know how they work this out. A lot of times they'll come up with stories like for the game, and I could say a story play out like later on, like maybe not specifically MyRise, but I remember one of the WWE games they had predicted the Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton versus Ted DiBiase story, and that actually happened in the game, Black 4, if I'm not mistaken. It actually happened on screen. So, you know what I'm saying? With stuff like that, that is cool. That means you get some inside information. As far as MyRise go, I mean, I'm with that. I mean, listen, it's a video game, bro. Like, we got to take away some realism. If you give us some alternate things, like even with this year, with the whole Roman Reigns never lost angle, like, I thought that was dope, low-key. Roman Reigns never lost, or was that this year or last year?
That was this year.
Yeah. The Roman Reigns lost, he just relinquished the belt, and then you had to go. That is cool. So
I completely agree with that. Yeah, we definitely have examples of like you said, previous wrestling games having completely custom stories related to the game. But in this case, with the Roman Reigns storyline, yeah, I love that. The Roman Reigns storyline where basically in an alternate universe, he went off to Hollywood and relinquished his championship. Cody Rhodes wins it. And, well, you end up beating Cody Rhodes and so forth. But we also have other examples of that, little motifs in MyRise in previous games. The presence of Brock Lesnar, of course, you know, I like that. Of course, The Undertaker and the streak before it was broken. So yeah, alternate timelines for real world events I definitely don't have an issue with. But one thing I do have an issue with, and this can also go into WWE and on air storylines as well. I know you talked about this, Black Couch. More women / men storylines and them not being love interests, because that can be really night and day when it comes to being good in WWE. But more so in the game, what do you think about having more integration between women and men in storylines?
I think they need to bring that back. I'm trying to think what year it was. Maybe it was WWE 2K20, and a lot of people give that game a bad rap. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I like the story. Like, it was like the story where you had to create the guy and the girl, and they like went to high school together or whatever it was. I thought that was dope. Like, they need to figure out a way to do that, because then you can play the story at once and you got your characters interact. I think that would be a good look.
Wow, you just brought up a great, that's such a great example. And I'm kind of bummed right now, because I had 2K20. I still have 2K20 on my PS4, but I really didn't play it. I played a little bit of it, but you know, you read what the internet says, and I had my own reservations, but I didn't get the chance to play that. But I did see videos, and that did look pretty cool. But yeah, having both, you do have the option on this year's MyRise to create both two men and women characters, but again, they're in their own universe and they don't interact. Something like that, I would enjoy seeing that for sure. Just having one overarching story together, that would be something big. Now, transitioning into the next topic. This is a topic that has been a topic for a very long time. Something that a lot of 2K20 wrestling game players, content creators, whoever has wanted for a long time as it relates to a created player. More voice options. Now, I remember as a kid, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. That's one of my top 3 greatest wrestling games of all time. Having that option. Now, this is really important, voice options, because not only because of your physical appearance, but the gimmick you want to portray. And I want to hear your perspective about that. What do you think about having more voice options, and especially with the technology and the budget and the advancement of games as years have progressed? Black Couch.
I think that's important, man. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, if I make a black dude or an Asian dude or an Indian dude or a white dude, they got the same voice, that kind of is like stupid to me. I think that just like Jen Fight from New York, they do it with different voices based on different races, because we try to find that one voice that match every race. It kind of like it don't fit. That's like NBA UK. I hate that they do that, bro. Where they do the one voice thing. You a white dude. You make a basketball player. You sound like Tyrone. Like,
I hate that. Oh my God. Well. Yeah, well, what a great point, man. Just going into the race thing, I guess looking on their side, being a devil's advocate per se, maybe they want to not like. I don't know. Maybe they're going overly political correct because again they've done it before, but not even that's a main thing. The race thing that makes no sense if you have an Asian guy with the same voice as a black guy, or the example that you just gave, but more so as a gimmick. You don't want, like, if you're portraying a brooding gimmick or a gimmick like The Undertaker, you don't want to have a super light or a jolly voice. So that's something I want to see next year, and just in games in general. Just try to be more considerate of who your players are. You know, you've done it before, so think about doing that again. Now, this is another motif that can go into on-air storylines. nicknames, and we know in MyRise their nicknames are very correlated to what their story are, and sometimes they can pigeonhole your superstar and how you want to progress in the story, or sometimes that may not be the case, or the nickname just may be trash. Black Couch, what do you think about nicknames in WWE games and in MyRise? What do you think about that? Could they be better, or should they just give the option where it really doesn't matter what your superstar's names is?
Yeah, I think they just need to be generic and don't give me anything. Just address me at my character as you, or my character got like a real name and they use real names. Because I'll tell you something. The Lock, like, it was funny to me a little bit, but it was really stupid. Like, now that I look back at, like, they call you the Lock because he's a lock to become champ. Like, that's the 2K is worse with NBA 2K. They named the motherfucker because he was a DJ. Like, that was the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. And now they just call you MP. Like don't do nothing like that. But
yeah, MP's not that bad, but yeah.
I'm called the superstar. Like,
yeah, facts. Oh, I definitely agree with that. Yes, I definitely lean towards the side of not having a nickname and just keep it in generic, because this is something also I'm gonna use SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 as an example, or previous. You can use SmackDown vs. SmackDown Here Comes the Pain or whatever for your experience or your timeline in life. But in that game, they didn't address you as a created player or a foreign player from the WWE roster. They addressed you as a guy on the roster. And in the game, you had an option to have a template name, or sometimes the template name matched who your character was. And now, even more so now in these games, they have a name. They have announcement names where you can make combos of your names, and sometimes that matches what your name actually is. So won't they just have the technology, have the announcers say these names in combination, and then once you put these in combination, that goes into the commentary system. So I don't understand why 2K can't do that in both 2K games, because the Lock, and for 2K earlier days, this is something I remember in NBA, frequency vibrations. These are these are terrible names. So something I'm looking forward to in the next game, just no nicknames, just keep it generic so you can feel like you're actually a part of the WWE universe. Now, this is something that I've been hearing rumors of that's going to be in the next 2K game. We have it in NBA. I don't know how necessarily now. It sounds good in theory, but I don't know how this would work. The city, the city actually works in a basketball. You could just walk around the city and get in a pickup game. I don't know how that would work in the form of a wrestling world, but free roaming, we've seen that before in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. Black Couch, have you heard about these rumors? If so, if not, either way, what do you think about the rumors of a city, and how do you see free roaming? Could you ever see that coming back into games, WWE games?
Yeah, I heard about the city thing. I think it's a bad idea because their servers are, like, WK has the worst online matchmaking service I've ever seen in my life. Like, I thought 2K was bad, NBA 2K, but it's nowhere near as bad. So if you're gonna do the city, it gotta be a solo player experience. It can't be like how NBA 2K is. I have a city where I'm MyRise character and the stops and playing gear. I go to the PC, performance center, and train my attributes. Like, that would be dope. I could see them doing something like that, but it gotta be a small scale. It's not gonna be as big as how NBA 2K City is, but if they're trying to do that online and you could like walk up to the lobby and do matchmaking, you go shopping with your friends, I'm not with that unless the city itself is just a hub and you can go to the main menu do online. If the city's just a hub for you to interact with your homies, spin VC, stuff like that, cool. But matchmaking and if you go to this place is a tag team, you go to this place is that, you go to this stage is WrestleMania, that ain't gonna work because they service not good.
Wow, great point, Black Couch. Great point. First, I'm going to address the server issue. I've definitely heard. I don't necessarily play wrestling online. I never have, but I've heard. Well, I have a couple of times, but when I did, it was bad. But yeah, I've heard how bad they are. I've seen it for a short time. The servers are too bad for that, and I definitely agree that if they do bring the city or a free roaming type of mode back to WWE games, it should be isolated. I do remember again SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 having a free roam type of aspect to it in Road to WrestleMania. If you remember that, Black House, you remember that?
Yeah, with like Edge and all them. Yeah, that joint was dope.
Yeah, Edge, John Cena, Rey Mysterio. You had an Undertaker when beating the street. You can use your custom guy. But yeah, they had that, and that was dope. Again, you had challenge matches where you could unlock legends and unlock attires and special little knickknacks in WWE. So you had challenge matches, and then you had funny dialogue. So, and that's something that we miss. Not to digress, but the money that 2K have, why can't we have more superstar dialogue, more voiceovers? But anyway, these are great things you experience at free roam, and that should be isolated. And another thing Black Couch just mentioned, if they do add a city portion, or it should be like for multiple people, if it's not just for one player, single player, it should be more so of a hub, like what NBA 2K has, like the Gatorade gym, where you go get your attributes for your stamina or your speed or your agility or whatever. It should be something like that. Or I remember SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 having the locker room. Remember that, Black Couch?
Yeah, I remember that. I've been at the show. I definitely like something like that.
Yeah, they had a custom locker room where you could customize your locker room. You had an upstairs, you had a downstairs. It's basically like your own crib, but you could customize it however you want it. And I didn't have online back at that time, but again, PS2, Xbox 360, they had online. So I'm pretty sure you could it was online, but for a single player. So we've seen things like this before, but 2K wrestling, 2K has never done it. So that would be something that could really get the players into another mode. I know WWE and NBA love MyRise, my faction and my team. But if you want more people to stay in your game longer, this is something that you could do. This is something that you could add. Now, the final topic I want to talk about, this goes perfectly into that, adding to the lifespan of the game, making MyRise stories, just making the MyRise mode longer. I know they have a base timeline of stories. I probably think it's like 6 months, maybe SummerSlam going on to WrestleMania, maybe PLE 2 past WrestleMania. But once that's over, I know you have options to, change your decisions, to go back and start over and change your decisions. But once that storyline's over, the mode is over. After, I remember previous games, after the overarching story was over, they had other stories. And going into that, adding updates to MyRise, adding DLC to MyRise, making it after making it MyRise the overarching story, making it more so an NBA 2K, more of a My Career, where you can build your custom superstar. Black House, what do you think about WWE 2K possibly, in a way, increasing their lifespan by making MyRise longer in those ways, or in more ways that you could think of?
I think a DLC would be cool, like a DLC of the story could be DLC or something like. beat the street DLC, or if you just want, hey, once you beat the actual story, keep going. You gotta defend your champions for every PLE. It don't gotta be no story to it, but you just defend your belt every PLE. If you lose the belt, you get to go back to the belt. Like just something just simply so it can have some replayability. Like once the main story done, back to the no voice acting, no none of that. Just go back to the text messages and the speech on the phone, man. I'll be cool.
Wow, yeah, wow, definitely agreed, man, definitely agreed, because again, they do this in NBA 2K. They have an overarching story, and once that's over, you can just go on. Now 2K has, now for 2K, now to criticize NBA 2K, they have gotten lazy after the overarching story. They just don't care after that's over. But in previous games, what they kept the continuity kept going. But again, you don't necessarily have to use the voice. You can keep doing text messages as communication, social media. And I think again, I'm not one to be all doom and gloom. 2K hasn't necessarily topped THQ. I know 2K15, 2K18 was kind of bad. But I've had good experiences, and I just want to be able to play longer. And of course, we can go into Universe. That's a whole another story for another day. But with MyRise, I particularly like it. You guys see my recent videos on it. And Black Couch, I know you're the fantasy booking legend, you know, pioneer. Just, you know, I'm just talking, you know, just talking, BSing. But yeah, I wanted to really wanted to get your perspective, and I thank you for, you know, joining me to, you know, share our request on what we want for the next year's MyRise mode, man.
Hey man, appreciate you having me on, man. Y'all missed the first time it's been red, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe to Black House Booking, and follow on Instagram at Real Black House Booking. I will be getting WWE 2K25, and I'm gonna make sure I pre-order it so I can play it early, and I'll let y'all the real for sure.
Yes, sir. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it again. Subscribe to Black Couch Booking, where he drops consistently streams with me, Ricky the Shadow, Influential Sports, and more. Again, we got more content coming. WWE 2K25 MyRise. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We out.